Peace, power, and love. Peace, power, and love sent from above, from the Creator, with a breath of life to wake us up again before the sun. Me, I, whoever's with me, synergy. We're Blackanized, international Nubian consciousness, the realization of who we are as a people. Conscious chess moves, the moves we make in society to develop self-esteem, focus, and concentration, going through the quagmire maze of deception. This morning, I just want to share with us some motivating words, motivating myself and trying to motivate us to become united and cemented in one action and one accord of harmony and peace sent from our Lord and on the pathway of our ancestors to develop our communities, first with ourselves, our families, then the community, through purification, self-love, self-happiness. You have to love yourself, and other people have to enhance that love. And any hurt that we come through in our lives, we have to deal with it, not medicate it. We have to heal naturally. We have to develop naturally, not through drugs and alcohol and all those things. It's toxins that toxify your spirit, your thinking, your vision. It distorts it. And we have outside forces that's already trying to do that. But we got to keep on, like Curtis Mayfield said, we got to keep on pushing. We got to keep on pushing against ourselves as individuals to become part of the collective. I want to give us greetings this morning too. I want to say Salaam Alaikum, Hotep, Ashe, Amen, Hallelujah, peace, peace. I want to say that so everybody can be included. We got to come together, stop being deluded. We understand that the methodology of divide and conquer has been used over all these years and generations with the perception of the religion, through the perception of religion. Because if we don't deal with it from a naturalistic point of view that connects us in the oneness is that it's only one universe and one universe, and there's only one creative energy, and that creative energy is in each and every one of us. It ain't no separate God or deity. It's this one intelligent supreme being that brought all this into being. We got to realize that as a people, melanated people with a carbonated essence, universal essence with all the elements in us. We have to accept who we are from the continent of Africa, modern day Africa, but we got to go black into it, into the interior Africa. Not only Africa, the interior here in Mexico and Australia, everywhere, because we're the original Aborigine and indigenous people of each and every continent. But in our development, being so harmonious and peaceful, we let other people come and steal, plagiarize, rob, and kill. Got our information and turn it against us. They poison our minds and bodies and with indoctrination, social narcotics. I need not say what that is. We should know that social narcotics is white supremacy and institutionalized racism with the Willie Lynch syndrome. We have to know this. We have to know this as a people. democracy under satanic administration. Man, I see that the connection is weak. I don't know why, but it is. But I'll continue. We have to realize that and realize that they have an alternative motive for their existence. Dealing with us, they got a motive, ulterior motive in their divine insight. We will be able to connect with one another. I want to say I shade that the people that I can see that has joined us. That's what's that? Kenana Brown and Galen Coles again, once again. Say Hotep Ashe, Salam Alaikum, peace, Salam. I want to, that energy that you bring and the synergy that we can grow together. They say still shopping still. Each one reach one, each one teach one. And the elevation of our people to establish our communities. It's an evolutionary process right now within ourselves, but it's also a revolutionary process also. Not a physical revolution, but a revolution within ourselves also. To understand the inner verse, to develop it to a point of view that we can, what we speak, we walk. What our objective is the healing of ourselves, the healing of our young warriors on the street corner who are at war with each other by design from an outside force. We have to overcome that activity. We have to go reach our youth where they're at. We have to go in the trenches. We have to go into the cesspool of life, of reality, in the abyss of it, the bottom of it. And we have to reach out, young brothers, spiritually, first and foremost, and then mentally. We have to culturetize them and have them realize who they really are. We cannot be, part of the slave catchers or the police force or whatever, because it's a job to them. And it's a job to really protect the system and the wealth of the system. But it's our livelihood or our lives, because it's our brothers and sisters or family members or extended family members that are dealing with their animalistic nature or their predatory nature by design from frequency, radio frequencies, the chemtrails coming out, the chemicals coming out the sky, the fluoride in water, then all the subliminal messages through these negative videos or the music that they play that's related to nothing, don't have no real meaning to it. Our entertainers, must, or our artists must be the forefront of the development of the mind, and also our clergy, imam, reverends, or whatever, spiritually awakened brothers or sisters, has to be people that promoting us coming together in harmony and unity in the African spirituality. We have to go black to who we are and what we are as a people in order to reach our young warriors. And we have to reach our elders too, to be more informative, to overcome their fear of, dealing with our youth. Our youth got to be better example. They have to become warriors. They have to become disciplined warriors instead of animals, predatory animals in their community. That's so the temple is so intoxic with the alcohol, the drugs, and everything like that. They got to change the mentality of, making money or living or sustaining themselves by hurting people, by having these drugs or whatever they be doing, if they doing that. See, we be looking at our young warriors and say everything that's going on in our community they're doing. like the killings and all that. But some of this could be done by agent provocateurs from the system or slave catchers or whatever. We got to be, that's why we got to be observant and watchers in our community. We got to be protectors of our own community. Because we got to realize that this is a war we're going through. It's a war on all fronts, from education to the school system we sending our children to, psychological warfare, preparing them to perpetrate this system of white supremacy, instead of establishing a system or an infrastructure that we need as a people, spiritually, economically, educationally, on every front of our livelihood. We need to establish control of it in our communities. We need to establish entrepreneurs, businessmen, and all that that's about our growth and development in our community. We got to do this yesterday, especially in this political climate that we're in. No telling what's going to happen in these 4 years here with all these executive orders being signed and what they're being signed for. It's like, I don't know if anybody ever read the bell curve. It's like experimentation to shock you to see how far or what it'll stop you do or what it'll cause you to do. It's experimentation of a stimuli in society to push you. All these executive laws, the building of a wall to keep people out or keep people in. It's no telling. And all these drugs they putting in our community to have a certain effect upon us, have us acting in a certain way. Those of us who have a weak constitution, I'm talking about, the 2K, the Flacker, and all these other drugs that like take control of your mentality to a certain point that you can become a cannibal, a true cannibal, and be eating people and stuff like that, or attacking. And then if you have enough of those people, the movies they done show, like the Dawn of the Dead and all that, that's a true possibility. They have what they got, FEMA camps, and they got a big old like 10 by 10 cassettes. For what? They got a plan. It's something they planning that they're going to put in effect, because they ain't got that stuff for nothing. And people have seen it. Eyewitnesses of caravans or trucks with those type of cassettes on it, and people have seen these buildings that's empty right now, concentration camps or FEMA camps, whatever you want to call them. But we got to be prepared for that, because we can see it unfold right between our eyes with this brother that's in the seat, the presidential seat. It's like coming from one extreme going to the other extreme in preparation for what they're trying to establish. We heard the word New World Order. We heard the words Illuminati. Yeah, brother, you're right. King Alfred Plan. That was brother Godwin Coles mentioning the Alfred Plan, because if a state of emergency happened in this country, then they implement the King Alfred Plan, and that's like a total takeover, almost like a police state. It'll be a military state where the military come in and have people round up and taken to concentration camps and all that. But it's been trying to get to that point for a long time, and years really, but everything was like molded and shaped to get to this certain time or period of time so that they can implement it, so that they can establish their madness, their demonic plan of the New World Order or whatever. But as they plan, we plan, and as they plan, the Creator plans, and it is the best of planners. But we also got to plan. We got to counter their plans. We got to counter their moves on a level, a extreme high level, at the apex of our being, at the highest conceptual ideas that we can uh, stimulate within our being as individuals to come together as a collective, as warriors, as soldiers of the Creator, of our ancestors, stemming from all the information that is left for us, the signs that they left, the writing on the wall, where truth is etched in stone, and the study to know thyself in a spiritual way, intellectual way, to purify your soul, to become a better human being, to be the example that you talk, walk the talk, and talk the walk, and be the person that stimulates, motivate each and every person that we meet. We got to be like, look at the signs of nature, we got to be like the ant, always working together. We got to be like the bees with the queen bee, the matriarchy queen that is the helm of everything, but the warrior and the queen got to come together. In my eye, it's got to be a balance between us. We got to heal in our relationships. We got to heal ourselves and with our idiosyncrasies and stuff like that, or the experience that we have, the baggage that we have. We got to take that negative baggage and get it out. All we want is that positive light of development, of growth and development through love, through the energy of love, of pure love, of divine love. We do this for our healing of our people in our communities. We got to take control of our communities. And it ain't just about talking. It ain't just about the politics or whatever. It's about us doing it. It got to be proactive. We have to be proactive in our actions, in minute ways and maximum ways. Those who are of us who are in position to make a profound maximum effect, we have to do that. Those of us whose effect may be minimum, but whatever we do, we put it together, molding and shaping a holistic approach to our growth and development. We got to do that yesterday, every day. We got to do that. We got to be sincere in our actions as melanated people, black people, so-called African American, that mixture from our being descendants of Africa or Akabu land or Axiom and all that. We got to do it for ourselves. We ain't racist, but we have to be race people. We have to be concerned with us now more than ever. We can't be like Negro pins, selling our soul for the materialistic gain and all that. We got to develop. We got to break the currency of this being under robot control. We can't let those stimuli or the frequencies affect us no more. We got to take the veils from over our eyes, and we got to realize that we are under attack. We got to realize that we can control that by how we think. We got to change everything about us. We got to change about or think about the food we eat, because the food is contaminated. Some food don't even have no seeds in it. We got to think about the water we drink. Alkaline water is better for our intake. Every aspect of our being, we have to be purifying ourselves as a people, as warriors of the Creator and from our ancestors, taking up the torch of our ancestors to guide it here to this point. But now we got to move forward in our day and time. We got to be united. We got to be united, the youth, the young adults, the middle-aged adults, and our elders. We got to protect each other. We got to, be having, when we do go to their institutions, we have to take on their indoctrination through the institutionalized racism that they perpetrate, Eurocentric concepts and all that, and don't give us nothing about who we are in the African sense or American sense, because we were here first. We got to know the true story and not his lies about everything, about the indigenous and the aborigine, about Africa, about here in America, South America, Australia. We got to know that these people are demonic. We got to know that everywhere they've been, they have killed, murdered, raped, created mayhem and everything. That's their nature. We got to know the beast in their nature, like the brother George McCord said, the village poet and Guitar of the Minds. See, you can't be emotional dealing with this man. You just got to understand his nature, the beast of his nature. Animalistic, because he come out the caves, the Niagara genome primate, come out the caves, so that beast-like nature is his nature from coming out the caves. Mog and Gaymog, Mog and Gamog, it got to be that. They got to be that, because they just be so destructive. Is this destruction wherever they go, and control wherever they go, deception and everything that they do, everything they touch, don't turn to gold, turn to defecation. And like they say, a birth of the nation. A brother was he was talking to me the other day, right? And he said, "Man, I got to go see the birth of the nation." But he was going to get the first one, and he didn't know that what it was about. He thought he knew about Birth of a Nation that depicted Nat Turner recently. But he was saying, I'm going to get the old one, man. I want to see the old one, but he didn't know what it was about. And I had to tell him that it was about that Birth of the Nation. It was about the Ku Klux Klan and their derogatory depiction of one of us wanting one of their woman and all that, crap. It was a lie, and they hunted him down and all that. But, they showed that in, 1932 or something like that. And they showed it in the White House. I don't know who that was joining us now, but Hotep, peace, alhamdulillah. But they showed that in the White House to show you how racist supportive this system was or is. See, this system started with the concept of racism and white supremacy when it first got established. Even though it had some of us was like President George Hanson was the first president before George Washington, free man or whatever. But most of us, the masses of us at that time, was in captivity, so-called slavery. So the beginning of this Constitution from 1776 all the way up to 2017 is based on white supremacy, institutionalized racism, and somewhere along that line in 16-something or whatever, the Willie Lynch syndrome was established. The indoctrination of that to them, to how to mold and shape us into the mindset of being susceptible to the captivity or so-called slavery. Not only that, along with the Bible and the teaching of the words of the Bible, wanted us to become submissive to the slave or captivity that was going on. If you go in there, you can see verses that say, paraphrasing, but you have to be obedient to your master as though the master was the Lord or something like that. Well, we've seen some of that in the depiction what Nat Turner was doing. So the same thing applies. Most of the preachers or pastors today do the same thing to pacify. No, they telling a lie because there's so much deception in the Bible. Not saying nothing negative or bad about the Bible, because if you open it up, you will see what I'm talking about. They got rape, they got murder, they got everything in there. And then got this concepts of obeying this guy that got us in captivity. This system. Woo. Brother Galen Coles give me some information about 1713, 300 years ended in 2013. He didn't say what was ended, but I think it might be talking about the captivity or whatever. But anyway, we got to realize that. And we got to become mentally free, spiritually free. We got to rise up out of that cesspool of deception and their lies about who they are and who we are, about our story and his story, which is his lies based on a story that he created, that he stole and plagiarized, mainly from us. Because we are the beginning. We're at the beginning of civilization. We're at the beginning of theology. And we got to realize that so we can become, excuse me one second. So we can come, like in Islam, they say the caliphs, the representatives of the rulership on this planet. So we can go back to our Pharaoh state of mind, where or we can go back to federations in interior Akabu land or Africa, when everything was in harmony and peace. We didn't know nothing about murder, stealing, and all that till we came in contact with these people. Then now harmony and peace was broken, and it's been broken ever since. We got to pool our resources, our money, our Opry winners, our Tyler Perrys, our Mayweathers, and all our athletes and entertainers and rappers and all that. We got to start pooling our money and developing institutions of learning, institutions of entertainment. If we want to be guided in what goes into our perception, into our computers, into our minds that persuade us. We got to have the persuasion to persuade us like they be doing to indoctrinate us. We got to break their indoctrination. We got to break their we got to relearn everything that we learned in the system and relearn our own and develop our own system, going back to when we had the best system on the planet Earth with the matriarchy institution, through the matriarchy leadership, with the king and queen, or the yin and yang, the feminine and the masculine coming together in balance and dealing as a family unit, as a spiritual unit, as an economic unit, as an educational unit. Everything was geared for the whole. And that's what we got to do. We have to do it. We have to do it in love and peace and harmony. Again, I'm redundant and I reiterate a lot of things that I say because it's a need, it's a dire need for us to come into the essence of who we are, especially in this day and time. It's our duty to do this, to become who we're supposed to be, as not as individuals, but a collective. It got to start with an individual effort to come to a collective effort. We got to establish this. It's not hard if we do it. We have all these different segments of ourselves. We have the conscious people. We have we got the nation. We got the Christians. We got the Hebrew. We got everybody. But again, being redundant, to reiterate, we ain't together. We ain't together. That's strength. That's togetherness. But this being separate, I mean, we can have our own perception of whatever, but we can't like be attacking one another. We can't be like degrading one another. We got to be uplifting each other to build together, to come together in the oneness in a holistic manner by developing of our inner nature, through understanding who we are. We got to develop through sciences, natural sciences. We got to understand our energy points. That energy is prevalent in our environment spiritually. We definitely need the grassroots, and it's a grassroots effort, But we got to plant the seeds for the grassroots to grow. those of us who have understanding and enlightenment or whatever that we have, we are conscious of our plight as a people, and we're not caught up in the system. We're not under robot control. We're mentally free. We're spiritually free. And in that freedom, we got to spread that energy of freedom, a concept of freedom, and the harmony and peace that we're trying to establish. We have to overcome the fear that's in our community that's there by design. They want us to be labeled criminals, murderers, robbers, stealers, that is unsafe to be around us. And then we accept that. We accept what other people say about us because I see my sister Lisa. How you doing, young, beautiful queen? But we can't let people validate us, and that is our problem also. They put a stigma on there, and we accept that stigma. But we just got to rise up beyond anything that anybody say about us and come together and reach out for help. If you can't read, say I can't read so people can help you. If you need help in any form or fashion, you got to seek that help out, and we got to have people willing to give that help. That's why we got to pool our resources. We got to pool our resources. And those with the abundance of resources, don't be like them. Don't be the hoarders of and the capitalistic mindset. If you got that abundance of wealth, we got to build institutions. We got to manufacture like they manufactured and produced like Negro pens and robots and all that to be a deterrent to yourself. We got to overcome that. We got to change the current, go to another power source, the power source of the Creator and our ancestors with the dictates and the road signs that they left. And we got to move in that direction, like the Muslims say on the Sirat al-Mustaqim, the straight way, the straight path, and develop it 360 degrees so that we can be spiritually inclined through the essence of love, the energy of love, as a people of love, but also warriors, also economists, also scientists. Every aspect of a community, of an environment, we need to do that again and develop an infrastructure like the cities we had here in the early 30s and 40s and stuff like that. The wall streets that we had developed that they came in was because they were envious of our being able to run these cities with every aspect of a city that there was going on, the transportation, a bank, everything, insurance, everything, cab system and everything. And we didn't need them. We didn't need them because it was like separate. It was separate but equal. See, that was when America was great for us. Not when through integration. Integration was the trickery. Separation was what it was or is that we need once again. Oh yeah, lawyers. We need every aspect. We need lawyers, doctors. We need, I ain't gonna say, we need real people in our community, not slave catchers, but people who are in, we need the whole community as police. But we need every aspect. We need physicians. We need astrologers. We need everything. We need, actually, we got to deal with the stars. We got to deal with science. We got to deal with all that, every aspect of environment. Knowledge never stops. Knowledge is universal, every aspect of it, We need engineers, all that. Instead of, ball players, that'll open the door for some financial wealth if you're that talented, or musician or singer, entertainment. They open the doors, but that should not be our all in all, Our all in all should be the development of a community. We need artists and all that, but artists should be one that promote our culture, to higher levels or whatever. Everything should be to uplift us, not to bring us down. We got to control what we listen to and what we see. That's why I say all these brothers and sisters, entertainers, athletes, or whatever they are, how will they absorb their wealth? you got enough wealth to do whatever. You own so much, it's overkill. You got 33 cars, can only drive one. You got a big home. I mean, 2 or 3, you only need one. What is it for? Show? It's overkill. We don't need that. It's like we become hoarders. We have this capitalistic mentality. I want to say, I don't know what to say to this brother. I can say peace, hotep, salam alaikum, salam, or some other word that's unknown to this brother, because this brother is very intelligent. This brother is like a digital master. I'm talking about Gas God, brother Oski Doski, brother that deal with everything in our community leader with leadership qualities about change and development in our community in an entrepreneurial way, a way to become financially free and fluent. It's about economics also, as in our development in our community. We got to take control of every aspect of our community and be productive in those areas as individuals to become collective, as individuals that teach the collective. We got to do this yesterday. And I just want to say, like I said, always a pleasure to be in your presence. The energy and the synergy that connects us, the growth and development of ourselves and our community. But we got to do these activities that I talk about. We got to do them very, very seriously. We got to be serious about our personal growth and the growth of our community. We got to be aware of what's going on in our community. We got to be aware that it's been going on for years, and we got to be aware that where this system is at this point in time, it was a plan from the beginning of the plan. Their plan was to get here to implement the next part of their plan or the next phase of their plan. So right now, in this phase, they really pushing. They pushing it to see like how far or how much the populace is going to take, how much we're going to take, so that they can implement the other phase of their plan. That's why we as a people, we must stand down and don't get caught up into all this protesting and whatever. We don't know what level it's going to come through, because he's not going to take too much of it. We know his character and his disposition of power with his egotistical mentality of maniac type disposition and heart. He's so power hungry and this CEO type mentality that he might do anything to create fatalities among the masses. He's locking down people. He's locking people out of the country and locking people from going out of the country. That's what that gate is. I mean, that wall. Even though he's talking about keeping them out, it's keeping people in also. And all these protesters and all that, they're going one day, and then, they're going to have some agent provocateurs to push it, to make something happen, we're bringing the police force or the National Guard, just like he talking about in Chicago. He taking the power out the community, out the local government and all that, because they say they can't handle the situation up there with all these murders or whatever. He going to send the federal, whoever, National Guard or FBI. It is not a federal case unless he investigating the government or whatever, the FBI. But when he's saying federal, I mean, it might be the National Guard. So I don't know what is in his mind. But we got to be prepared for that, because if he's do it there, he'll do it here. He'll do it everywhere. He got the control. And then those people that's patriotic, so have a patriotic mentality for the United Snakes of hypocrisy under satanic administration, they're going to do anything that he say through their patriotic heart. Is a lot that have that mentality to whatever is said, they under robot control on another level. They have different type of robots. We got to realize that it's a people. And as always, it's about motivation. It's about stimulation. It's about coming off that wheel like the Gerber wheel, is about coming off that wheel, having direction in this quagmire, deceptive maze that we're in. It's about realizing the illusion that is created for our reality. We have to do that. We have to realize that. We have to rise up. We have to spiritually rise up, mentally rise up, economically rise up, and develop in this environment that we are in. As a people, individually for the collective, we have to be warriors, spiritual warriors. We have to be economical warriors, culture warriors. Every aspect that we have in our growth and development, we must do it. We must go to the apex of it. We must come from the abyss to the apex. We must rise up like the phoenix. We can no longer be down in the cesspool. We have to be creators. We have to be developers in our community. And we have to connect. Not only here, it's a worldwide pandemic. See, capitalism become imperialism. And we got to understand that. We got to make connections all over the world and be entrepreneurs and bring in import, export. We got to do all that. But all politics is local. So where we at right here, I'm in D.C. and this is our operation, motive of operation. We got to put on an operation that's going to lift our areas up in D.C. We have to unify here as warriors, spiritual warriors, and do it economically as entrepreneurs, because we got to deal with the finance. The finance is also the essence of this development that we need. We got to become entrepreneurs. We got to teach our children how to be financially secure, so they get money and want to splurge. You know, they want to be ballers, and they want to be shot callers and all this. This because they've been programmed that way. It ain't about that. It's about establishing institutions. It's about investing your money, investing our money, and coming together so that we can be financially free. We can't acquire generational wealth because we don't have enough time, and we can't get free labor like it was done to us. But everything has its season and reason. So we are the season. We are the reason behind this season, to uplift our people by uplifting ourselves first and foremost. I speak genuinely from my heart and from my spirit, from the essence of the Creator and our ancestors. I'm living what I'm saying, and I'm walking what I'm talking, and I'm an example of it. I don't have no ulterior motive. Only motive I have is the love for my people, the love for myself and my people. Not from an egotistical, self-centered, arrogant disposition, but from a sincere love for my people. I want to see us come together. I want to feel that feeling of harmony and peace among us as a people, generated on all levels, from all walks of life, from the Muslims, from the Christians, from every aspect of us in this environment, in this realm, in this dimension. And we got to go past the five senses. We got to deal with the sciences of the chakras and the kundalini and the third eye, the science that belongs to us, that they stole from us, that they use against us in these Masonic secret societies, the York's rites and the Scottish rites and the William Hall. That's us, but if we don't deal with us, that information for us, and why is it secret? It shouldn't be no secret. It should be for the growth and development of us all. But they stole it from us. We have to get it back. See, it's in us already. It's out in our DNA through understanding who we are in our universe and that divine energy that is in our temple. We have to get back to that. And I just want to say, I don't know if the sun rise yet, but before the sunrise, let it rise within us. Let us be the light, that divine light that shines, that people can see us when we come in the essence or in this space and time, that we speak the words of truth. We speak words of elevation, motivation, and stimulation for us to come together, to come out the stupor that we're in, to come out of that intoxicated state of mind and be part of the divine essence of who we are as a people, individually, and connect in the energy of the divine energy harmony, peace, and love. And let's do this yesterday, especially in this political climate, in this global warming, so that we can overcome our idiosyncrasies and all that negative energy that we bring into this development. We have to rid ourselves of it by this understanding ourselves. Know thyself. And if you know thyself, this divine energy will open up to you. Keep your temple pure. I'm talking about your body. You know, we got to change our talk so we can change our mind. Change our mind so we can change our talk. What we put in is going to come out. Whatever you put in is going to come out in word, actions, or deeds. Even the food that you eat can be a detriment to you, your body. It may take years or whatever. Like people say, I've been smoking for years. But if you do an examination of your internal organs, you can see that they're going to be messed up. They're going to be black. The toxins going to cause a effect. You ain't going to be at 100% optimal function. You know, even though you may be functioning. Like people that keep drinking and I can handle it, but it's tearing up your kidney. It's doing something to you because it is not a natural. How can you keep putting alcohol on your internal organs and don't expect something to be negatively affected? We got to know that. We got to purify ourselves as divine beings, energetic beings, electrical beings here in this realm, on this planet. We have to uplift ourselves so we can uplift everybody around us. We got to be an example of light. And I want to say that I love my people. Oh yeah, another brother, he just putting out some information again about, you know, the protesters are being paid by, what's his brother named Soyastic, that European, a billionaire European. He supports Black Lives Matter and all that, you know, and a feminist movement and all that. We can't be a part of the deception. We got to be part of the reality of who we are as a people. We can't have ulterior motives. We can't let people just lead us to a slaughter. We have to be real. We have to come from a spiritual essence of African spirituality or whatever religion we may practice, but we got to come together. And we can't be manipulated, and we can't let people validate us. We got to come from the source, the essence of who we are. That's why we got to understand and know thyself collectively. First as an individual, then collectively. The truth and the essence is here. The source of it comes from us. So we got to go into us. We got to be about us holistically. And it ain't no mystery. It's like they made our history a mystery, our story, because of his lies. It's his story. But our story is the mystery because we don't know our power, our eternal power, our mental power, our spiritual power. If we knew, we will live better. We will develop our communities in a form of fashion that it would be harmony and peace in our communities. Our young warriors wouldn't be predators, wouldn't be dealing with their animalistic nature. So if you study yourself, you know that you got to rise above all those things and qualities in us. They talk about the devil and God, but that's just a state of mind that was created for us to be controlled in this time. The energy is nature, it's a universal essence. It is not that concept of a devil and a God. That's for control. We got to know who we are as that divine energy, part of the divine energy. And the concepts we got to study. The more you study, the more it's going to be open up to you. Later on, I'll share some information that I come about or on to make that statement I just made. So we got to be aware and knowledgeable in this environment, this realm, this dimension that we're in as a spiritual people, as a divine people. And with that, I just want to say that I love us. I love my first self. I love myself first. and other people enhance that love, but that love emanates from me out into reaching out, touching people in an energetic way, in a spiritual way, in a harmonious way, for the uplifting of my people, of our people, my brothers and sisters, because I am a race man. I'm not racist. I'm a race man. I love my people. And in the love of my people, I can love all people. But first and foremost, I got to and have to love me and us. When I say me, I'm talking about us as a people. People of this melanated skin tone, hue. And it comes in all forms, from the lightest of light to the darkest of darks. And as that concept reside in my mind and my heart, and I amplified in my actions. I mean, I done been through everything that most of us have been through, the young warriors and all that. It's a growth and development. But you have to grow out of that negative energy into a positive energy and promote that more so than anything. Because we've been manipulated through what we look at, what we read, and the influence of each other or whatever. But in our growth and development, we can't stagnate in a period of mind or a period of time. It has to be about growth and development. And we have to get a spiritual concept, because through the spirituality is our connection as a people. And we have to be spiritual in our dealing with each other through love and peace and understanding. So with that, I'll say, whatever you do during your activity today and you're meeting people, have that flow of peace and love, and motivate somebody who need it, stimulate somebody who need it, tell somebody you love them who need it, hug somebody who need that hug, because the Creator has given us that breath of life. We're not here for nothing. He didn't wake us up today. He didn't allow us to be on this planet Earth all this time for nothing. We have to do something. If we don't do nothing, it's just a waste of time being here on this planet, in this realm. We have to make a connection with our people and be about our people. Marcus Garvey gave us something to stand for, to pay allegiance to. The blood that we bled, the land that was sacrificed, and that melanin of the universal carbonated elements and minerals that make it up. But the melanin that stimulates the pituitary and the pineal gland to open up that sixth sense, seventh sense, that third eye of understanding. Know thyself, and the truth is etched in stone. We have to partake of that truth through reading. We have to go black and read everything that our black scientists have left us. Those are our ancestors, and the ones that are alive today that about us, who give us words of wisdom. We must partake of those words and let them be part of our being, so we regurgitate them to uplift the public, to uplift our people that need it. With that, I say peace, power, and love. Self-love to be extended to universal love, connected to our families and extended families. For tomorrow, if we rise, the same thing come, and to realize our power, that what we have to do on all levels of our existence. Amen. Ashe. And the brother said, including law books and all that. With that, alhamdulillah, ameen, hotep, peace, peace. Assalamu alaikum. And that connection that we have in this energy must get stronger, because it's about growth and development in our communities, especially in this day and time. Peace.